This is a breakdown video on how to play Small Bump by Ed Sheeran. This is my first attempt, and I'll try not to make it long and boring, but you want all the information, so I'm going to put in all the information. Okay, so capo on 3rd fret. First positioning is E minor shape, so fingers on 4th and 5th string. We're going to pluck those strings as well as the 3rd string, which sounds like this. Very easy. And then follow this by plucking each string individually, starting from the lowest. So that sounds so far. Next, move the position on the 4th string up 2 frets. I just like to use my ring finger here because it's easier to reach because I have little fingers. And then just pluck them together. And then next, we're going to take our thumb on our right hand and strum upwards, but using the back of the thumb. So, and I like to miss out the high E string because I think it sounds a bit nicer. So far we've got. Okay. Okay, so next we're plucking the 3 main strings again, but covering the 5th string on the 3rd fret, and then hammering on the index finger to its original position, and then following that with the thumb strum up again. Okay, so that would sound. Put that together. Okay, very straightforward. The next step is to quite simply move these 2 fingers up onto the above strings. Yep. And then pluck 6, 4 and 5 all together. Nice and easy. And then going to follow that by plucking individually 4, 5 and 3. That would be so these strings here. Okay? Right, so that part is the same throughout all of the song, pretty much, on the parts that you play that. The next part only applies to the introduction. After plucking 5, 4 and 3, you're going to change position so that you're covering the 3rd string on the 2nd fret and the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. I mean, you can have it like this, you can have it like this, but I find it easier to go like that. You're going to pluck the 2nd, 3rd and 4th string all together, and then shift this position up 2 frets. Yeah? So, and then I'm going to do the same again so that it moves back. From here, okay, that's the last position. The next bit is so simple. 3rd and 4th open strings from the highest. So let's go to 3, 4. And then that's the introduction. So the introduction sounds as follows. Very simple. Okay. The next part is the rest of the verse. So for the verse we don't do that. We don't do that. The rest of the verse sounds exactly the same up to this point. From there, after plucking each of these strings, we're going to pluck all of them together and then do the thumb strum upwards afterwards. And then we're going to move into our last position, which is covering the 6th string on the 2nd fret, the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, and then the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. So you can play it like that, or you can play it like that, or whatever's easiest for you. I think that's the easiest one, personally. After you get into this position, pluck 6, 4 and 3 strings together, and follow it by the thumb up strum as well. And then you can go straight back into it. Yeah, so that applies to the verse and the chorus actually. Okay, the pre-chorus is pretty simple. It's also the same as the bridge, which is just like that. And then pluck all the 3 strings that you've got held down together. You pluck all 3 strings that you've got covered individually, starting from the lowest, and then move into a C shape, which is just that, and then pluck 2, 3 and 5, follow it with the thumb strum, and then do that twice. So that would sound. And move into a G shape, which if you don't know a G shape, that's the G shape. And pluck strings 4, 5 and 6 together, and then 3 times in a row play 3, 4 and 5, and then follow it with the thumb strum. Follow that on with exactly the same, and once you reach the G position again, you play 4, 5 and 6 as normal, covering 6th and 3rd strings on the 2nd fret, and then the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, and then give that a couple of strums. So the pre-chorus slowed down sounds like this. And then boom, you can go into the chorus. That's just like that. Sorry if you got a bit confused. I will play it slowly now without saying anything and see if you can play along as well, if you want to. Don't have to if you don't want to, obviously. Okay. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. Feel free to post any questions or whatever. There you go.